Namaste and welcome to Namaste Let's Talk. I am your host Vasundhara Pathak. In today's episode, we will explore what it means to leave behind everything family, friends, and even language to start over in America. Our guest today is Swadesh Katoch ji, a first-generation Hindu who moved from Himachal Pradesh to United States and has been living here from past 25 years. He has been involved in various social organizations like Seva International. Together, we will talk about the hopes, challenges, and triumphs of starting a new life and how faith and values carried through them, and then how the American life came true. So, Swadesh ji, how was your journey coming to the United States, and what was your first impression about this country?
So, I'm originally from Himachal Pradesh. I was working in Chandigarh, one of the second biggest pharmaceutical company in India at that time, in Bexy. And one of my friend who was applying for his job for US, he was sitting on my computer, my laptop, in my office. And when he was applying for it, I just entered my room and I asked him what you are doing on my desk. So he said, "Oh, I was applying for this job in US, and why don't you give your resume too? You can also apply." So I did not apply. He applied it for me. So basically, because he was sitting on my computer, so I told him where my resume is. So he applied for it, and so I ended up being here. That's how I came. Because in India, about US, I don't know about others, but most of us, we watch in movies, all these Hollywood movies. And if you watch these movies, most of the movies they show all these big buildings, big cities and all that. So when I landed in Atlanta, and my imagination was that it will be a big buildings and they are in downtown, no doubt about that. At that particular time, I was thinking where I will be, it will be like that. So my employer picked up me from the airport, and she brought me to her home, and it was in Decatur, all nice trees behind, all those things. So it was totally different experience what I expected. So, and then what I found. So that was really, but after a few days or after a few weeks when I started going out, then I realized, there are different parts of Atlanta. But when I came initially for, I will say, a couple of weeks, I was inside home, so all trees around, so really different.
What were some biggest cultural and lifestyle changes you had noticed right away or after some time?
Actually, there were few that I found. Number one, I will say, is when I landed here, I told already that I was thinking big buildings and everything, and it was totally different. Actually, in Chandigarh, there were more buildings at that time, the way I felt at that particular time. The other one, when I was here, if you have to call your parents at that time, there used to be phone card. You go get the phone cards, and then it used to be like you buy a $10 card, you can call 25 minutes. When you call it, you call maybe 10 minutes, and then that timing will go away. So it's a very challenge how to call. Now it's very easy, through WhatsApp or other, but it was very expensive at that time. So those were, I will say, the biggest challenge was missing families, because parents are there, all your friends are there. Here, you hardly know anyone when you come here initially. These days, people know many, but for me, especially because I come from a state where none of my relatives were here. I know none of my friends were here. I was the first one who landed in Atlanta, so I never knew anyone. So initially, that was whom to call at that time. So that was a challenge initially. There were a few other challenges also. Like for me, because I come from a village, so communication skills was also a big issue. When you go in the offices, you talk, we can't speak the local language. Even right now, we find that challenging. That like if people are talking about games, I know so many Indians, they watch certain games like baseball, maybe football. They watch just so that they can talk in the break rooms to start a conversation.
Some topics to start conversation.
Exactly. So initially you don't know those things. So now there are so many things on internet you can do. YouTube is there. Earlier there was nothing. So those were the I will say initially you find those one. Definitely technical skills perspective also. So in India you are jack in all trades. So you know little bit of everything. But when you come here, you are presenting yourself for particular skill set. So now you should be master in that one. So initially when I came, these were the few things that I found. Definitely grocery stores were here. Maybe not that many what we have today. So food was not an issue because restaurants were there. You can go to the grocery stores. Temples were there at that time also. There were few, but temples were there, so that was not an issue. But celebrating festivals, for example, it was not that common. Temple will celebrate a little bit here and there, but it was not like at least from our side, there are no friends to go and celebrate.
Again, no family.
Exactly, family. So that was a big challenge from that perspective.
Any other challenges you faced being a immigrant, especially first generation immigrant coming here?
I think family is the biggest one, I will say. Second thing is, and not it's me, all of us face that. Definitely communication. No, I'm not talking about when I'm saying communication, not I'm saying English perspective.
Yes.
Communication is how we communicate, like in offices, like I'm telling you, the break room talks or something,
How
like
to initiate that conversation,
exactly.
take the first step.
Actually, you can, when you watch, see, this is another thing. When you initially come, you can watch maybe baseball, you can read some rules and everything. You can start the discussion, but you can't carry it forward. Then certain things will come, you can't do that. Even right now, I'm telling you, after living in 25 years here, that is a big challenge, not for me, but many others also.
Yes.
Our children don't have that issue because they are born and raised here. So that is a totally different thing. But us, that is the big thing. I will say there is another big challenge that I feel, and I think most of us feel that way, that our parents, they live alone back in India. And always there is you always have fear of something wrong. Happening there, and you are not
being there for them when
exactly.
they need you.
Exactly, when they need it. And I know recently someone in my circle died, and even though they found out in the morning, the flight was in the evening. So for two, and then he reached that person reached after 36 hours after the death. So that's the only fear that all of us has, and that's the biggest challenge also. That many times your parents are sick.
Yes.
And there is no one to look after them at that particular time. Friends are there, but they will be not at the home.
Yeah.
They can come when you call them or something, and many times they don't want to call. Or even when they are sick, they don't want to call you and tell you, wake up you in the night time.
Yeah.
Parents think that
they don't know the time difference. So they're like, it's
exactly.
Okay.
So that's the biggest, I feel, the challenge that was there 25 years back, and that still, even right now, that exists. And there is no solution to that. I think there is no solution.
Yeah, because you cannot travel that distance.
Exactly. Still, 25 years back, also the planes were taking that many hours. Even today, the planes are taking same time from US to India.
How was your entire process of making or feeling America as your new home? Did you have any support from community, or did you build your own community, or your professional circle helped you? But how was that whole process that now America is my home?
That's a good question, actually. So when I came here, I told you earlier that I did not know anyone. I have no friends, no relatives. So when I landed here, I was the first one who landed here. So initially my employer and their friends, so I still have a good relationship with all of them, and that was my first friend circle there. And then because I started working, and so there also I have my colleagues, their families, they became friend circle also. But the actual friend circle happened little later, or I will say ideologically same friends that I found later, maybe after a year or two, when I read one news about there are shakas here in this country also. So I found where the Shakha was in at that time in the Global Mall, and I first time went to Shakha, and there I found people who ideologically were like me. So initially, I said the festival perspective there were not much. Even you will not find out when the festival is happening and all that. But when I started going to Shakha, there I got that exposure about being how to celebrate our Hindu festivals, when to do that, what we can do for that. And so that was my first exposure of a community that was ideologically same, and I thought I can contribute here. And that's how we started organizing festival. We started building a community around that. And initially we were only few families, but now because I volunteer with many different organizations, and one of that organization is Seva International, where I volunteer with. In 2003 or 4, we started first Holi in Alfreda, when I think 150 to 200 people came in that one. Now that Holi has grown to 18 to 20,000 people yearly coming, or more than that, because people don't get the parking, so they go back. So now that is a community that we built, where we started with 150 people, and now 20,000 people are coming. So it's a big one. And this is just one festival. Through Shakha, we are organizing now Guru Purnima or Guru Puja Utsav, where we are inviting the school teachers to our Shakha, to our chair. Our students bring, exactly, then facilitate those teachers. We organize so many different things. Now almost all my weekends we are busy with some Seva related activities. And even yesterday we had women's pickleball tournament. Okay. Coming weekend we are doing a 5K run.
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say is 25 years back, where personally for me I did not know anyone when I landed. I made few friends, and then that circle became bigger and bigger. And today, after 25 years in US, now we are doing all kind of events. We are participating in so many, like how we can help the local community, how we can build the communities together, build those barriers. So yeah, it's a good journey so far, very good journey.
It takes time, but you can have your home here.
Exactly, so it's a home, and that's where first time I found that those friends, that when we organize our own event, that time I realized that this is the place. Even though I was already here for 1.5 years, but because I was still missing family, friends and everything, so a new friend circle was, by that time we had a new friend circle. So I think that was the time when I felt like it's a home.
When you find the like-minded people, all of it at the same activities.
Exactly.
That seals the deal that this is my
Exactly.
new home and I like it.
Exactly. Right now in Atlanta, I'm telling you, like 20,000 plus people are coming for Holi. Even in India, you will not find 20,000 people playing Holi together, at one place.
Yes.
I'm saying one place. So that's different, totally different.
So every immigrant who comes here probably usually comes with the idea of American dream, which is so popularized, the word American dream, that you're coming here, this is the land which is going to fulfill all your desires, is going to provide you with home, food, shelter, everything, and everyone comes with that idea of American dream. So what does American dream personally mean to you?
I will answer in two ways. One is, when I came here, what was American dream for me, and today what is American dream for me. Like most of the people, when I came initially, dream was to get a nice job, make some money, and we are on H1, so make some money and maybe go back to India.
Yes.
Okay. But over the period of time, and that's what, so when I initially came with that dream, I got a good job, started working, and after maybe a year or two, I have a little bit money where I can go back and get settled. But you want to continue doing it, keep going. You want more and more. You keep on changing your this thing. So initially, like most of the people, having a home, nice car, those were the dreams, and I think it's very easy to achieve those things because you can get on credit card, all those things or limit, credit limits.
Yes.
So, but over the period of time, now if you ask me, my American dream had changed. I feel like I'm a cultural ambassador of my country where I was born. I'm a cultural ambassador of my religion. I'm a cultural ambassador of my culture. And so there is a huge responsibilities because of that.
Yes.
So for that one, I personally feel my dream is not to acquire a car or a home or raise my children, which is already happening. That is going on. But how I can play a bigger role to showcase my culture, my religion, my country in a very positive way here in this country.
To the people who don't know.
Exactly, the people who don't know. Most of the Americans, they don't know about India that much. And we as Indian also, we don't have that vision. We don't know what we want to showcase.
Yeah.
Most of the people, they don't know. So I personally feel if I can play that role, or at least within my sphere, where I know, where people knows me or who come in contact with me, we can play a bigger role. And that's the reason I volunteer with different organizations, like Seva International is one of them. So through that, we're trying to serve the local community so that we can, and I will come back to this one, but a lot of us, we don't realize that. And I think I realize it is, I'm the first generation in this country now. First generation is who came from India. And we have a huge responsibility because our generation, now we are 5 million here in this country. And our future generations, our children, our grandkids, everyone will raise here, they will be American. Their thinking will be totally different. But it's our responsibility today, what kind of, dreams we want to show them, what kind of steps we want them to take.
Yes.
How they want to contribute to this country. Most of people don't know that. They think, I am here, my family and this thing. But it's our responsibility, because today, a lot of Indians, they are doing good in education perspective. But how many of them, they are giving back to the society?
Yeah.
Very few.
Or even thinking about it.
They are not thinking about that. And even if you ask any Indian, or most of the Indians, or there's a lot of people who will say, I volunteer. They will say that.
Yes.
But you ask them where they volunteer, whom they are volunteering for. Most of the Indians who volunteer, first of all, many of us, we don't volunteer at all. A few of us who volunteer, what they do is, either they volunteer in the temples, or they volunteer for ethical organizations, like Punjabi organization, Gujarati organization, Telugu organization, Tamil organization, Bengali organization, they volunteer for them. If you are volunteering for those organizations, who are the people who will come for those organizations? Their own people. If Telugu organization is there, Telugu people will only come there.
Yes.
Or 99% are Telugu in that organization. In Gujarati, only 99% will be Gujaratis.
Yes.
Okay. So you are serving, but you are serving your own people. Nothing wrong in that.
Yeah, but you're not expanding.
But you are not expanding your horizon. Okay. Second thing is, if you are volunteering with a temple, is the rituals. That's what all the temples, they are not doing anything for social, or most of the temple, they are not doing anything for social activities for the community. They are doing ritual activities. And who are the people who have come to the temple? The Hindu community.
Yeah.
Or all the Indians who have come to those temples. So again, you are serving your own community.
Yeah.
There are very few people, hardly anyone. There may be individuals who are helping here and there, but they are not serving the local community.
So you should have your cultural, serve your cultural community, but serve the local community.
That's very important, because the local community, right now if you see, and I'm just giving an example of Atlanta, and I know example will not be different in other cities too. If today an immigrant comes from India, he lands at the airport, mostly he comes to Dunwoody. You go to all these apartment complexes, he stays mostly, even though there are many other apartment complexes, but he is more comfortable in staying in those apartment complexes where Indians live. Okay. So if you look into those apartment complexes, you will see 80-90% their residents are from India. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, a new immigrant who come, he take an apartment in a subdivision or in an apartment complex where a lot of Indians are living. He goes to buy his groceries at Patel Brothers or Indian grocery store, any other Indian grocery store. So there also he going to Indian grocery store. Then he go to office. Most of these people who are coming from India, like us, they are in IT. You go to the IT departments. Most of in IT departments are Indians. So there also he interacts with Indian only. When he buy a home, he try to buy a home in a subdivision where other Indians also live. Okay?
So only looking for Indians every
So what is happening is our community, they are not getting exposure to the local Americans. Okay? So we are living in our own ghetto, our own, our shell that we want to live.
Comfort zone.
Exactly, we are not
bubble.
ready to go out of our comfort zone, and then what they should be doing for the local community, that is not happening. Even when they are here, news they watch, Indian news channel. Game they watch, cricket. They will not watch local games. They will watch cricket. Game they play, cricket, not any other games.
Yeah.
And now the most difficult, I will say most challenging, or I will say most funny part is even our children are playing that cricket game now. That's funny because as a community, when we are trying to outreaching to the local community, or we are playing their games, watching their news, I'm telling you, if today there is a hurricane in our city, most of the Indians, they have no idea there is a hurricane is coming because we don't watch local news. We know what is going in India today, what Modi said, what BJP is saying, what opposition is saying. We know all those things. And this is a big challenge for our community, for our future generation, for our children. Because if we will not know, if you don't want to volunteer with you don't want to volunteer with temples or ethical organizations, that's totally fine. But then volunteer with your PTA meetings. How many of us go and participate in PTA meetings? Hardly any. Go to the local organizations, volunteer there, do something. What I'm trying to say, I'm not saying go and volunteer only. What I'm saying is go and do something where you can make an impact with the local community and you can create a positive impact or create a positive vibes for your community.
And go and meet different
exactly
people from different communities.
Exactly. When I'm saying local, exactly, that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying local, I really doesn't mean local community. What I'm saying is diversify. Go to the your neighbors, invite them to your home, go to their home, do those things. And our community, I know we don't do that. So that is a big challenge, and I think as if the new immigrants, we have to change those things. It's important.
In general, have you seen any difference between your how maybe your upbringing or your experience versus the experience that younger generation has, or maybe your children have? Anything, have you noticed any difference?
There is in many ways yes, and there is many ways I will say yes. I will go with that one. When we were being raised in India, we were being raised in certain ways. Now, because of we now in a different country, different culture is there. So as a parents, we are not ready to change because we still love what our culture was. And our children who are being raised in this culture, especially even though you may not be teaching, but in school they are getting that. Especially there was no internet when we were growing, but children, they are growing with internet. So there is a huge difference now. There were certain things where we were very good, and there are few things where children are very good, and there are many challenges also. Like I will give you an example. When we were growing, what are the values for families? Cousins, brothers, friends, all those things were part of our culture. But our children who are growing up here, because of social media, they hardly spend time on those things. But the challenge is whenever in India, we were not the exposure. We did not have that much exposure. Okay? We can't speak the local language even after so many years. But our children who are born here and being raised here, they have that luxury they're living a very good life where they're getting good schools,
Mm.
good exposures, and many other good things that are coming with it. The other thing, the bad side of it is they don't have that many friends. The things have also changed. Like in our time, minimum two, each family will have at least 2 kids.
Mm.
Now, even families, they are either they don't want kids, or they want only one kid. Dog has become the second kid, or
No
baby.
siblings.
No
nothing,
siblings.
no one.
So now the parents, they don't realize this, the loneliness that will come in their lives after years.
Mm.
Right now they're busy on social media, so they have no time for friends, families, and other things.
Yeah.
So those are the challenges, but they have better exposure, more they can do, they can speak the local language, so they have the, like, when you look at the future perspective from economically, financial perspective, I think they have a
Yes.
bright future.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to family values, family,
Social circle.
social
also
circle, those things are that is a big challenge for them.
not as strong as.
Exactly, and I can give many such examples. I will give you another example on similar lines. If you look at children these days, and I'm telling you the cultural differences
Yes.
and how they are playing a big role.
Yes.
When we were growing, our parents were saying, and I know in movies they say only girls, but it's for boys also. That's how our parents they have raised us. Or don't date anyone, whether it's boys or girls. Don't date anyone. So most of us, we never dated anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents found a boy or girl for us, and we married, and happily married after so many years also. Highly or very less rate of divorces. When we are here, many of our parents, like most of us, like parents, we tell our children the same thing. Or don't date anyone, it's not good, don't fall for those things. Some parents are giving that free hand, okay, go and do whatever you want to do, but most of us, we don't want to do that.
Yes.
So that is totally fine. I'm not in favor of one or against anyone of that.
Yes.
But I feel when parents like us, when we are telling our children not to have any date anyone in their schools or colleges, then after they go to their masters maybe, or they cross 20, 22, I think that's the time when parents, we should sit with our children and tell them, start looking for yourself someone. Or as a parents, we know our friends, we should start helping them find someone.
Yeah.
Okay, and whatever works out, that's a good one. Now the challenge is, most of the parents, they realize it once their children have already started working out. They are in their high 20s, or they are already touched their 30s, crossed their 30s. At that time, parents start telling their children that, when you are marrying, you are already 30. So I think the biggest challenge that our community will see in near future is that they are single, lonely, they have already crossed 40. Till 35 or 40, you will have friends.
Yeah. But what after that?
What after that?
You won't have friends.
You will not
throughout
have friends,
the time.
your family, parents will start dying,
Yes.
So, and then loneliness will come. So I think there are different challenges, some positive, some negative.
Yes.
And but as a community, it's our responsibility to look for solution for those things.
No, I agree with you. Every generation has its own struggles and has its own growing and glowing points.
Exactly, and even parents also, like some parents, and I think that we should avoid in certain time. Like I have seen in our community, somehow education has become such a big thing that they forget other things.
Yeah.
And there's so much pressure on our second generation.
Very competitive.
Exactly, there's so much pressure on our children that they have to perform. Even parents, when the kids are in elementary school, maybe pre-K or first grade, second grade, parents tell their children that, if you bring A, we will give you iPad. If you bring B, you will not get anything.
Yeah.
If you pass this one test or you get this one, you will get an iPhone. I think such a bad thing that parents are doing, harming their children by doing these things.
At such a young age,
Exactly,
forcing them to do,
exactly.
and then just if you do give them something and then putting them under pressure that I need to earn something and I need to,
Exactly.
I cannot have anything lower than an
Exactly. One of actually there are so many that kind of examples, And parents somehow, in when our parents, we were growing, our parents, father was working,
Yes.
mother was working in home,
Mm-hmm.
both were working, one was outside, one was inside.
Yes.
As a result, the mother was there to look after children. She was guiding. Okay. Even most of us are more connected with our mothers than father, because she was around us all the time.
Yeah.
And we have seen them struggling, caring us. So we have now more respect for them and all that. But here now, husband is working, wife is working, and children are being raised by daycares. If you don't have interest in your children, and I know that is because you have to work and all those, but if you don't have interest, if you will not put
Find
time, find for time for your children or your child, how a daycare will do that? They will teach certain things better than parents maybe, but that a mother that she gives, that motherhood or that mamta in Hindi, a daycare will never give that.
Yes.
So as a parent, we have to somehow find for whom we are working, for whom we are making money, for whom we are doing these things, and then how we can give that to for whom we are working. Because after 20 years, parents will say that, oh, I made this all these things for you, and then children don't connect with parents.
Yes.
So I think that is a big challenge that parents and children have to somehow
bridge in,
fill
in the gaps. No, Swadesh, thank you very much for agreeing to do this podcast with me. I think every immigrant who comes in has a very different journey. Some of them have some really high aspirations of coming. Some people end up coming. For some people, their friends fill out the form and then they lined up for a job. But everyone has their own way, and then they path in their own the rest of the way. And I think if you know any immigrant who shares the same story, you should share this podcast with them. And till the time we meet next time, namaste. Let's keep talking.